They said he was too weak, too small, too fragile for football. A skinny kid from a war-torn country with no future in the game. At one point, even clubs rejected him, not because he lacked talent, but because they didn't believe his body could survive the sport. This is the story of Luka Modrić, the boy who grew up surrounded by war, the player who was told he would never make it, and the legend who proved that strength is not always visible. Before the trophies, before the Ballon d'Or, before the world knew his name, there was just a child trying to survive. Luka Modrić was born in Croatia during one of the darkest times in the region. War wasn't something he read about. It was something he lived through. Explosions, gunfire, fear. These weren't rare moments. They were part of his daily life. His childhood wasn't filled with comfort or security. It was filled with uncertainty. At a young age, he lost his grandfather, a man who meant everything to him. And suddenly, life became even harder. His family was forced to flee their home. They lived as refugees in small hotels, trying to rebuild a life that had been destroyed. But even in the middle of chaos, Luka found something that gave him peace: a football. While the world around him was falling apart, he was playing with other kids, with whatever space they could find. Small areas, narrow streets, parking lots. It didn't matter. He wasn't just playing to pass time. He was escaping. Every touch of the ball took him away from reality. Every dribble was freedom. And slowly, something started to become clear. He wasn't just another kid playing football. He was different. But talent alone was not enough. When he started training seriously, coaches had doubts. They looked at his size, his thin body, his quiet personality, and they made a judgment. He's too weak. He won't survive the physical demands. He won't make it. And just like that, doors started closing. Imagine being a child with a dream, being told over and over again that you're not good enough. Not because of your effort, not because of your passion, but because of how you look. Most people would give up. Most people would accept it. But Luka Modrić did something different. He didn't argue. He didn't complain. He didn't try to prove them wrong with words. He did it on the pitch. At Dinamo Zagreb, he got his chance. But it wasn't easy. He was loaned out, sent away, forced to fight for every opportunity. He played in tough environments, against stronger players, on rough pitches. But instead of breaking him, it built him. Every challenge made him smarter. Every setback made him stronger. Not physically, but mentally. Because that's what people misunderstood about him. They saw weakness, but they didn't see resilience. They saw a small body, but they didn't see a powerful mind. When he returned, he was ready, not just to play, but to dominate. He controlled games, not with strength, but with intelligence, his vision, his passing, his movement. He didn't need to overpower opponents. He outthought them, and slowly, the same people who doubted him started noticing. Then came the move to Tottenham. For many players, this would have been the peak, but for Luka, this was just another step, a bigger stage, a tougher league. More pressure, more doubt. The Premier League wasn't known for being kind to players like him. Fast, physical, relentless. And once again, critics spoke. He's too light. He'll struggle. He won't adapt. But once again, they were wrong. At first, it wasn't perfect. He struggled. Adapting took time. The pace, the intensity. It was different, but he didn't panic. He didn't rush. He learned. He adjusted. And then he started showing glimpses of brilliance. The way he controlled the midfield. The way he dictated the tempo. The way he made the game look simple when it wasn't. And suddenly, he wasn't just surviving. He was standing out. Then came the biggest move of his career. Real Madrid. One of the biggest clubs in the world. A place where pressure doesn't just exist. It multiplies. Every mistake is seen. Every performance is judged, and once again, doubt followed him. Some called him the worst signing of the season. They questioned the decision. They laughed at the idea that he could succeed at that level. But Luka Modrić had heard all of this before. And just like every time, he responded the only way he knew how. On the pitch. Slowly, he became the heart of the team. Not the loudest, not the flashiest, but the most reliable. The one who connected everything. Defense to attack, chaos to control. He wasn't just playing football, he was orchestrating it. Years passed. Trophies came, Champions League titles, historic moments. But what made him special wasn't just what he won. It was how he played. Calculated. Calm, elegant. In a game full of speed and power, he brought intelligence and balance. And then, in 2018, something extraordinary happened. He won the Ballon d'Or. In a world dominated by two giants. He broke through. Not with goals, not with headlines, but with pure football intelligence. The same boy who was told he was too weak, too small, too fragile, was now the best player in the world. Think about that. From war to world number one. From rejection to recognition. From doubt to dominance. But even then, his story didn't end. Because greatness isn't about one moment. It's about consistency. It's about staying at the top when everyone expects you to fall. And Luka Modrić did exactly that. Even as he got older, even as younger players came in, even as the game evolved, he remained essential, still controlling, still leading, still proving that intelligence has no age. And maybe that's the biggest lesson from his story. Because in a world that values strength, speed, and physical dominance, he showed something different. He showed that true power comes from within, from discipline, from resilience, from belief. He didn't need to be the strongest. He didn't need to be the fastest. He just needed to be himself, and that was enough. So the next time you watch Luka Modrić, don't just see a midfielder. Don't just see the passes or the movement, see the journey. See the boy who played football in the middle of chaos. See the teenager who was rejected for being too weak. See the man who proved the world wrong. Because behind every touch of the ball, there's a story of survival, a story of belief, a story that reminds us that greatness is not given, it's earned. And sometimes the ones who look the weakest turn out to be the strongest of all.